stoppers, right? In every race, a car must make multiple pit stops because throughout the course of a race, tires get old, the gas gets depleted, the driver gets hot and thirsty, the windshield gets covered in grease and oil, the grill gets covered with debris, the car gets loose or tight, and so they got to come in for a pit stop. And in 14 seconds, they can change the tires, give the driver a drink, peel away the windshield tear off, clear off trash from the grill, make adjustments to the car with a little wrench, all in 14 seconds. It's pretty impressive. It takes me over 30, 45 minutes at Walmart to get my oil changed. These guys know what they're doing, and they do it quick. If you thought about what you can do in a matter of 14 seconds throughout the day, kind of just, whoa, take a little stop, take a little break. Lean back in your seat at the office or in school when the teacher's not teaching, and say, wow, thank you, Lord, for today. Thank you for what I have. It's awesome. I have life. I have breath. I have freedom. So much. In 14 seconds. It's amazing. I went to a NASCAR, well, it was a Promise Keepers event in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Jeff Ford was there, and he spoke, and he talked about pit stop prayers. In a matter of a few seconds throughout the day when you're sitting in line at the store or in your car going to work, going to class, in the bathroom, wherever you have seconds available. Lifting up little pit stop prayers throughout the day. Lord, I want to thank you so much for the air that I breathe. Thank you for the family that I have. Maybe you're thinking about someone that is really God's placed in your mind, and for whatever reasons you thought about them. Lord, I want to lift this person up to you right now and pray that you would just be near them, be close to them, reveal yourself to them. Little pit stop prayers throughout the day. How many times do we have at least 14 seconds available throughout the day? Even the Israelites understood this. In verse 11, they went back to their camp and they rested. They only did one lap, and then they went back. So they had the rest of the day to rest and focus and readjust. Now remember, God is in the business of fixing us and restoring us and making us to be more and more like Him. Now the race can be long these days. It can be very long, it can be difficult. There might be intense movements and directions that you may have to take, and some tough choices that will come up, because whether you know it or not, and I think we all would confess that we are going through something right now in our lives. We are. It's difficult days. And there are multiple things that maybe you're facing right now. And it may seem like a 70-foot wall. It may seem impossible. But you saw the end of the story. The walls came down. God prevailed. The people continued to trust, to put their faith in Him. Because God, in Him, all things are possible. And you know, there are moments throughout this race that many of us will say, you know, God, I appreciate you fixing me and changing me, but right now, I really wish that you would fix the circumstance that's going on in my life right now. You know, if you could just change my boss, that would be great. You know, the coworker that I work alongside with who's really annoying, if you could just kind of move him to a different office, that would be wonderful. You know, the teacher at my school that just doesn't get along with me, if she could be sick today, that'd be awesome. You know? God, those are the kind of changes that I need you to make in my life right now. If I could get a job, you know, if the employers could come to my door, that would be great. Save some gas. You know, there are times that God will. He will change us. He will change those things. But instead of changing our circumstances, a lot of times the Lord wants to change us from the inside out. We can learn so much more when we go through those circumstances. And we depend upon Him so much more when we face those impossible walls. The Lord will give us everything that we need. We're going to close with watching this clip from the Cinderella Man. And the setup is that James Braddock was living in a depression, going through some very difficult circumstances of his own, tried to make it as a boxer, lost his job, had another shot at being a boxer, and he overcame adversity in the midst of some terrible circumstances. And do the impossible, beat some really big guy at the end of a movie, like all boxing movies, and was able to beat him. But watch this and think about the circumstances that you're in right now.
From the When you try your best, but you don't succeed.
I'm telling you, it's sad to see a fighter that was once the caliber of James Braddock reduced to this.
All right, Joe.
We're revoking his license, Joe. Go home. We can still fight. Go home to me and the kids.
So tired, but you can't sleep.
They said I'm true, mate.
Stuck in reverse, and the tears come streaming down your face. When you lose something you can't replace. When you love someone but it goes to waste.
Donald,
You send them away, then all of this is good for nothing.
I'm not giving up.
If we can't stay together, that means we've lost. That means we're giving up.
Jimmy?
Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
You win one, I can get you another one again. Things maybe start getting serious.
He fronted us $175 so I can train. That's a second chance.
Ever stop yours? When he sets his mind to a thing?
Gotta beat this from the inside out! From the inside out!
Jim Braddock just beat Lasky. They made him the #1 contender.
How do you feel about the fact that Max Bass killed 2 men in the ring? So how do you feel about that, man?
He's killed 2 men, Jimmy. What's worth it? Huh? What's worth it?
I have to believe I got some kind of say over our lives.
You can do it, Jimmy!
Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
No race is impossible that you're facing right now. Nothing is impossible with God. Remind yourself, ask yourself today, who are you following? Who has leadership in your life? Are you set up to have right-minded thinking as soon as you leave the doors of this church? Is it time for a pit stop in your life? Who's your spotter? Your spotters. Let's pray.